morning, ladies and gentlemen of the USA. I would like to welcome you to the second episode of StormWatch. I am your host, Tyler Storm, and we have a lot of things to cover today since this new year began. But before we get started, I'd like to show y'all my new fucking jacket. What do y'all think? I saw this fit on somebody somewhere else. I can't remember who the fuck it was, if it was LeBron or Leonardo DiCaprio or I don't know. Maybe it was on like Floyd Mayweather or somebody, but I just know that I thought it was fly as a motherfucker and didn't think twice about dropping the bag. So now that that's over with, let's get started on local news here in Brevard. And you know how I said that this town was just full of the best and the brightest, full of some of the greatest people, some of the most lively characters you could ask for in this world? Well, let me give you a prime example of somebody here who is an upstanding citizen. Cocoa Beach police arrest 68-year-old Titusville man for soliciting juvenile for sexual act in Cocoa Beach. Police, David Roth, 68 of Titusville. Didn't I tell you this town was great? Allegedly approached the juvenile and offered $200 in exchange for performing a sexual act. That's disgusting. What the fuck, bro? $200? That's offensive. How could you offer $200? My time is worth at least $400. That's fucking outrageous. Especially for a mile. You charge more. What do I know? According to Cocoa Beach Detective Sergeant Taylor Payne, officers responded to the area of North Atlantic Avenue and Cocoa Isle Boulevard after receiving a report involving an inappropriate interaction between an adult male and 15-year-old juvenile at about 1:41 p.m. on Thursday. I mean, isn't that the best time to do it? Broad day on a Thursday? During the investigation, officers and detectives learned that an older male, later identified as David Roth, 68 of Titusville, allegedly approached the juvenile and offered him $200, offensive, in exchange for performing sexual act in front of him. He was gonna pay this young kid $200 to fucking jork it. What do you think this was? California with the sperm races? Disgusting. Roth wanted the juvenile to go to the Maritime Hammock Park, but the juvenile refused the offer. Good young man. He was lowballing you anyways. A passerby observed the interaction, noticed the juvenile appeared uncomfortable, and stopped to assist. I'd be uncomfortable too if someone was trying to offer me $200 to waste my time. Refused the offer. Stop the assist. At this time, the suspect was observed entering a tan-colored Buick sedan and subsequently departed the area. You see, isn't it always the Buick sedan drivers that are molesting kids? Really think about it. Is not every sexual predator a Buick driver, and is every Buick driver not a sexual predator? That's what I get from this. I don't know. It was kind of offensive. Truly, I just don't... $200? $200? Whatever, man. Investigators obtained a description of the suspect and vehicle, and a short time later, a Cocoa Beach police detective was en route to Roth's residence when the vehicle was located and stopped in Titusville with assistance from the Titusville Police Department. Roth was positively identified and was subsequently taken into custody without incident on Thursday, January 1st at about 4 p.m. Fantastic way to start off the new year, especially here in Titusville. We love our predators. The movie. Sergeant Payne said Roth is charged with lewd and lascivious conduct, felony of the second degree, and was transported to the Brevard County Jail, where he's currently being held on a no bond status. My take on this is that this poor man is about to go downtown for trying to take a young man to Pound Town and getting that young man's dirty brown round. I don't think that's appropriate. I think that... Well, was he Catholic? I'm not seeing anything in here about religion. Maybe he was a churchgoer. Maybe he went to St. Teresa's. He lived in Titusville. I think we should do a background check on... Well, I mean, they should have done a background check on this man before he started working at the Space Coast, but that's just me. What do I know? I don't know. In other news here in Brevard, we've got a lot of things going on. Since the start of the new year, we've had so many fucking things going on. Just this country has gone through great change, even in just 7 days. Who the fuck did I see wearing this jacket? Maybe Timothy Chalamet? I don't know. Cruise passenger arrested in Brevard County after investigators find bestiality videos on phone. Oh my God. Man arrested on 15 counts of possession of material depicting sexual activities involving animals. You know, in the last episode, when I said that Kim Kardashian said, "Fuck them puppies," I think this guy heard me and took it to the next step. Or we were just on like the same wavelength, and he and her were on the same wavelength. We're not on the same wavelength with the dog fuckery, but she said fuck them puppies. She said fuck them puppies, and clearly so did he. Brevard County, Florida. We hope that Anthony Ridings enjoyed this time on the Mardi Gras cruise ship since this little fun boat ride came to a screeching halt as he was disembarking. Now, isn't that a bitch? This man was on a cruise, out of the country, probably having sex with a dog or a goat somewhere. It was Mardi Gras. What are you going to do? You're going to judge him? Come on. Women showed titties for less. Just... let's not judge the man before we read too much further into the story. I mean, Ridings was stopped by our friends at Customs and Border Patrol regarding possible possession of child pornography on his cell phone. They went there thinking this man was a kitty diddler. They thought he was this last guy. They thought he was, what was his name? David Roth. Nay, this man was out here fucking dogs, not dudes. Dogs, not diddling dudes. However, when agents looked at the videos, they didn't find videos of child porn, but instead downloaded videos of adults engaging in sexual activities with dogs. Fuck them puppies. Agent Josh Strait of our Internet Crimes Agent Children ICAC unit responded to the port to assume the investigation, and during a subsequent interview, Ridings stated that he didn't know it was illegal to download videos of that nature and just had them for shock value to show his buddies. What the fuck? This is something a fucking 15-year-old with Reddit would have on his phone. That is the exact excuse that some of your teenage sons are going to give you when you find them fucking dogs on a phone. They're going to say, LOL, bro, it was the chat that made me do it. It's no longer Satan made me do it. It's chat made me do it, bro. And that 15-year-old boy is going to look at you straight in the eyes while he's banging this Shih Tzu. Blueface, baby. And he's going to look you straight in the eyes and say, I did it for shock value. I did it for the Vine. Well, that's not the thing anymore. I did it for the talk. I did it for the tick. You can't shoot up schools anymore, but you can shoot loads into dogs and get that fucking goddamn same reaction. Ridings was not taken into custody at the onset of the investigation as Agent Strait was having the cell phone examined by our digital forensics unit for additional evidence of the criminal activity. So you go to arrest him, suspecting him of having child porn, and then you find him fucking, or people fucking dogs on his phone, and you don't take him in. I don't know how one translated to the other and where the stopping point was or what just happened here, but okay. Agent Strait subsequently wrote an arrest warrant signed by the Honorable Judge Laura Moody for 15 counts of possession of material depicting sexual activities involving animals, and Ridings was taken into custody earlier today by our great partners, the U.S. Marshal Task Force in Daytona Beach. Okay. Daytona Beach. That's crazy. That's crazy. So he was not only getting arrested here in Brevard, but he was also getting arrested up in... I have no clue what the fucking county Daytona is, but I know it's just north of me by some odd amount. Of course, Ridings is now awaiting the guest courtesy shuttle to Ivy's Iron Bar Lodge. What the fuck is this? Where he is guaranteed to have plenty of shock value to share with his newfound buddies, or cellmates as we call them. Ridings has a $300,000 bond, so I hope he ate a lot while on the cruise ship, as I promise you he is not going to like the dining experience during his staycation at the lodge. Come on, man, who in their right mind would want to look at or show his buddies that kind of disgusting, sick, vile, demented video? Clearly him. What do you mean who? This is not... Okay, somebody made the video, and he's not the only one who downloaded this. He had 15 videos. This was not like one, I scrolled something crazy on Instagram and bam, some dude was busting loads in a bully. No, this is 15 videos of people fucking animals on his... Jesus Christ. Not one single soul would want to see that, and I wish we could find the people committing the acts so they could go to jail too. Okay, so all of that was a lie because clearly somebody wanted it. It was him. While I hope everyone has a safe and fun night on this New Year's Eve, you need to remember this. If you're going to ring in the New Year's tonight, then drink and drive. You could be Ridings' new cellmate. That's great. We host 21-year-olds who get DUIs in the same place as dudes who fuck dogs. Excuse me. That's pretty good. Thank you, Wayne Ivey. Speaking of Wayne Ivey, we've got another one of his article victims, I guess you could say. Message from Sheriff Wayne Ivey. Brevard County, Florida. Everyone has heard the phrase, new year, new me, but for us, it's a new year and our mottos aren't changing, especially the one that says, you can run, but you're only going to get jail tired. That one isn't going anywhere. Just ask Mario Thomas. He learned exactly what that means last night. What did you do? Molest him? Deputies were in the area of Mina Lane and Merritt Island when they saw Thomas involved in a hand-to-hand transaction. He left the area on his scooter. Yes, a scooter. Shout out Vespa. And deputies attempted a traffic stop. Thomas chose to flee, trying to scoot his way out of the arrest. This is not, what's that one game? The Super Mario Kart? Not this, buddy. As you might expect, he crashed the scooter, then took off on foot. While running, he tossed a bag, but deputies recovered it and caught up to Thomas. From the look on his booking photo, Thomas definitely went to jail tired. To show what good sports we are, we gave him a ride to our Ivy's Iron Bar Lodge, courtesy shuttle, so he could rest before checking in and meeting his new friends. Alright. Thomas was charged with trafficking in methamphetamine, possession of cocaine, tampering with evidence, and resisting without violence. On the bright side, he received a souvenir booked photo and a complimentary guest t-shirt that reads, I methed around and found out in Brevard County. That's a methed up thing to do, writing about this man. Like we said, it's a new year, but the mottos remain the same. If you don't know what they are, just mess around and find out. I love that every law enforcer nowadays, that's the one fucking shtick they got up their ass, is fucking mess around and find out. I'm pretty sure Trump said that about somebody the other day. I can't remember who the hell it was. Who the fuck did I see wearing this jacket? Maybe it was Jack Black? Steph Curry? William Shatner? Is he still alive? I think so. William Shatner? I don't know. Brevard's fun, man. Titusville, Brevard, it's fun. I don't know. Why can kids have, like, rock candy, but adults can't have glass candy? What's wrong with a little meth? Everybody who I know that does meth is very hardworking. They're very driven, motivated, self-determined people. Their teeth aren't always the best, but they've got good hearts. I think. Somewhere. Either way, it's just sad. Sad, sad. And closing out news here in Brevard, we have Shiloh's has shut down. This one is sad because everybody I know that had tons of money just wanted to spend their money at Shiloh's and never drive to Orlando or Daytona or even further south into Vieira where they could spend that same money at nicer restaurants. It's so sad because everybody I know that had any extra dollars would say, "Hey babe, we're gonna hit the town tonight. We're gonna go to the gas station. We're gonna go to Shiloh's, and then we're gonna drive to the next town so that way we can actually do something fun." A staple of the Space Coast waterfront is coming to an abrupt end. On Saturday, January 3rd, 2026, reports surfaced that Shiloh's Steak and Seafood will permanently close its doors after its final day of service tomorrow, Sunday, January 4th. The news has sent shockwaves through the community as the restaurant has long served as the premier front row seat for rocket launches, offering iconic views of NASA's Kennedy Space Center from its outdoor deck. I don't know about, like, shockwaves, but, like, pretty big deal, you know? Pretty big deal. This is a small town. We've got, like, 3 restaurants, and that was, like, 2 of them. The lunches were nice to watch from there. I don't actually, they get boring after a while. It's kind of like, okay. You know what, I'll get into the launches another time. Let's not deviate too far. The announcement has been met with frustration from some members of the community. Reports indicate that the closure was shared with staff on very short notice. In other words, they gave them $20 and told them to go fuck themselves. Just like that young teenage boy got told by that old man. At least that boy got offered $200. You see what I mean about age? These were probably older staff members. They probably got $20 and told to fuck off. That young boy got asked to go fuck himself for $200. I still think that's a low ball, but I guess it's better than what these people are asking. Reports indicate that the closure was shared with staff on very short notice, allegedly leaving nearly 50 employees without jobs as the new year begins. Holy shit! That means like 1/10 of Titusville is not employed anymore. That's sad. Luckily, we have like 478 gas stations, so you can always go and clean up after people at Love's or watch people do drug deals in the parking lot of the 7-Eleven or go clean up after somebody that just pissed all over the floor because they're half higher than a kite and going into a fucking, what is it, the Circle K? Beautiful, beautiful town. Lovely town. The most beautiful town. It's a sad time when the owners of a big restaurant in Titusville can't even give a notice to its employees, shared Tyler Gatewood. In a local community forum, Gatewood also cautioned residents who may have purchased gift cards during the holiday season to visit the restaurant before it shuts down for good on Sunday night. Jesus fucking Christ. What am I, retarded? You know what's funny about this? Reading this. Shiloh's is closing down for Sun. Shiloh's is closing down. Is closing after Sunday without no notice to most of its employees, leaving nearly 50 people without a job. It's a sad time when the owners of a big restaurant in Titusville can't even give a notice to its employees. Update. This is not fake. This is real. Keeping my identity secret so I don't face backlash. Your name is Tyler Gatewood. You posted this from your thing. You didn't make it private. You posted it to the Titusville community group with your name at the very fucking top as a rising contributor. So I don't face backlash. Multiple people already let go. Just trying to give people a heads up in case you bought those gift cards they were selling this past month. That's some Titusville shit. That is some Titusville. Posting that I'm going to share this big news and I just want to keep my identity secret while sharing it with your name at the very head of the post. Beautiful. Amidst the criticism regarding the timing of the closure, longtime local business owner Tim Curtis stepped forward to offer a call for empathy. Curtis reminded the community of the immense personal burdens the Sanders family has carried while operating the high-volume establishment. Specifically, Curtis pointed to the profound grief the family has endured in recent years, including the loss of son and the 2022 of the passing of the restaurant's founder and patriarch, Louis Sanders. Sanders, who also founded the original Porky's in Mims, and wasn't that shut down too? Was remembered for his big heart and personality, clearly not for the longevity of his restaurants, and his lifelong passion for the outdoors and his family. Well, this is sad. Life changes happen. This family's experienced the loss of a son and the loss of a father, Curtis wrote. I can promise you, running that business for that family was a very stressful situation. My hat's off to them, and now, as far as the Sanders family go, enjoy your life. You know what? Props to them. I agree with you, Mr. Curtis. Bubbity-bum. Yeah, I think that's basic. You know, if these employees are really struggling, what they could do is they could go sell meth and cocaine. They could go get videos of them fucking dogs and sell it to this guy. What was his name? Completely forgotten that small time. Anthony Ridings. They could go get videos of them fucking dogs and sell it to this guy. We have to keep the economy flowing, guys. I mean, with jobs being lost due to AI and jobs being lost due to, well, what was due to immigrants. I don't know. The job market's closing. I don't know. Maybe we should let these people have sex with dogs and traffic meth for a little bit. We have to keep the pockets of these American citizens fat or they won't consume. I don't know. Maybe that 15-year-old boy should have taken the 200. Times are about to get really tough. I guess $200 to jork it is $200 to jork it. Whatever, getting out of Titusville and into the rest of Florida. We seem to finally be getting somewhere with ICE and all of these raids. And I'm happy to say that they finally reached more than 10,000 arrests with ICE. Can you believe that? The state of Florida and ICE have paired together in order to make over 10,000 arrests since April 2025. That's phenomenal. That's amazing. That's wonderful. That explains why all the yards in my neighborhood look dead. That explains why none of the infrastructure is getting worked on right now. We're short on workers. Governor Ron DeSantis highlights success of the Florida Federal Immigration Partnership as Operation Tidal Wave reaches more than 10,000 arrests. That's crazy. You know, what a wonderful way to start off the new year than by announcing that you have separated families at an expeditious rate and that you have gone out of your way to disenfranchise all of these poor gardeners and construction workers. All of those poor roofers that you've thrown out. All of those poor janitors. all of those poor, what do they call it? Del Taco workers. Disgusting, Ron DeSantis. Disgusting. Since Operation Tidal Wave launched 8 months ago, Florida's law enforcement agencies have arrested more than 10,400 illegal aliens and worked with federal partners to remove them from our state and country, said Governor Ron DeSantis. This is the largest joint immigration enforcement operation in ICE's history, and we're proud that it will continue here in Florida. Many of the 10,000 plus individuals arrested as part of Operation Tidal Wave were trying to prey on our children. No, I'm pretty sure the people trying to prey on your children are this guy here in Titusville, David Roth. I'm pretty sure that's the guy who's trying to prey on your children right now. Not Josue. I'm pretty sure it's David Roth. I might be wrong. Rest assured, our statewide prosecutors will ensure these criminals do serious time behind bars before we send them back to where they came from. It's cheaper just to send them back, though. We pay for them to be locked up, said Attorney General James Uthmeyer. I'm grateful for the strong partnership between Florida and federal law enforcement. Florida leads, and I encourage the state to follow. Illegal immigration has plagued our nation for the better of 50 years, but because I'd say illegal immigration has plagued this country for a little bit longer than 50 years, but I guess that's just me personally. I don't know. Maybe there was a group of people that lived here that got displaced due to illegal immigration and slavery and wanton murder and other things. I don't know. Maybe I'm making things up and I just don't know. I don't know nothing. I'm just a boy from Titusville. But because of the leadership of Governor DeSantis and President Donald Trump, we are taking serious steps towards rectifying this problem, said Chief Financial Officer Blaise Ingoglia. You should deport yourself with a last name like that. Wall. Ingoglia. The fuck? In Google we trust. It is clear that the people of the United States and the people of Florida will not stand for the criminal illegal aliens settling into our communities. They were our gardeners. They were already settled. Some of them had W-2s. Illegal immigrants should think twice before coming into our country and into our state, because if they are caught in Florida, they will be sent back home. Goddamn right. Goddamn right. And I'm proud to be an American. Florida's immigration. Hold on. Here, I'm trying to find the numbers of the people they deported. Here we go. Here's the breakdown. The countries of origin of those arrested included the following: 3,435 from Guatemala, 3,331 from Mexico. That makes sense. Guatemala makes sense too. 1,353 from Honduras. This is all in North Florida. I mean, not all in North Florida, but man, a lot of these were in North Florida. 312 from El Salvador. Now that just doesn't make sense. 312 from Venezuela. I remember hearing something about Venezuela recently. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe something big happened in Venezuela. Who the fuck did I see wearing this jacket? Arnold Schwarzenegger? Caitlin Clark? Joe Rogan? Tim Dillon? Zendaya? Maybe it was an old photo of Muhammad Ali that I saw. Who did I see wear it? Whatever. I keep getting away from this. It's just, I love this outfit, you know what I mean? 1,249 from elsewhere. That elsewhere is called Cuba. The rest of that, I will bet money, majority of, is Cuba. They just didn't want to give them the dignity of saying Cuba. Disgusting bastards. You deport them, you ruin people's yards, you take away good restaurants, you ruin dishwashers and roofers' lives. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Disgusting evil human beings. Disgusting evil human beings. You know what's funny though? There is a trend going on here with the name of this operation. It was called Operation Tidal Wave. Did you guys know that back in 1943, August 1st, 1943, Operation Tidal Wave happened? It was a airstrike where American bombers went into Libya and attacked 9 oil refineries. You know, it makes me wonder. It's just very curious. We have an Operation Tidal Wave going on here in Florida, and we're being accused of going into another country's, into other countries for their oil. One in particular, I wonder which country that was. Here, hold on. I think I've got something here. That's right. It was Venezuela. Oh, wait, hold on. Speaking of Venezuela, did you guys know, you may have seen this already, that Nicolas Maduro was arrested recently? They just went down there and fucking took him and his wife. I think that's crazy. He should have just been like, hey, can't you just settle for her? But my point is, here, hold on. No fucking way. You're telling me this is the guy who I saw wearing this jacket? Wow. It was Nicolas Maduro all along. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. I think just the CIA and the Venezuelan Secret Service couldn't help but try and interfere between seeing 2 handsome, beautiful men rocking this Nike fleece. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't help that we flyer than a motherfucker. They can't help but hate us because they ain't us. I'm just so damn shocked. He's who I've been thinking about has been wearing this jacket this whole time. I listed off a whole slew of people. None of them ever in my life. I never would have thought it was Nicolas Maduro. You know what? Free my nigga Maduro. He ain't do shit wrong. You know what I'm saying? All he did was enforce a socialist regime that virtually became a dictatorship, not allowing for any other party to oppose him. But he ain't do shit wrong. Come on. Free my nigga Maduro. All he did was centralize the power so that way, even though the last election may have been rigged, how would you ever know? Would you even, they accused him, of course, of rigging the last election and staying in past when his term made him eligible, but he ain't do nothing wrong. He ain't do shit wrong. He's a good man. That is a good man right there. Free Maduro. What is he being accused of? Trafficking drugs into the U.S. Misusing his power and trafficking drugs into the U.S. No. You know who's trafficking drugs in the U.S.? Someone here in Brevard. Can't remember his name. Mario Thomas. That's who's trafficking drugs in the U.S. Not Nicolas Maduro. Not the dictator of Venezuela. Never him. I would never, ever in my life ever find it even plausible that you would think that a socialist leader could become a dictator or that they could rise to a position of power that would allow them to cement their ruling. That's disgusting. How dare you accuse this man of that? How dare you accuse this man of trafficking drugs? I'll tell you who's trafficking drugs. It's the same guy here in Brevard that was fucking the dogs, that's trying to pay a 15-year-old to fuck. Nicolas Maduro trafficking drugs into this country is not the issue. We are the issue. We are the issue. Disgusting. Free Maduro. Free. You know what, though? I just gotta say, this jacket is comfier than a motherfucker. I recommend to everybody if you got the money. I know most of you don't because you are, how you say, how do I put this diplomatically? Y'all are broke. Y'all are broke. You ain't got socialist money. That's really what it is. You ain't got socialist leader money. I don't even have socialist leader money. I'm gonna be returning this motherfucker afterwards. I can't afford this. This is a prop. My business can't even afford this. We sending this back. Y'all ain't got socialist money. I got pretend socialist money. We're different. You know what I'm saying? Me and Maduro set ourselves aside from society. This jacket really is fucking comfy. I ain't even going front. This shit is comfy than a motherfucker. Who the hell is in charge while he's away? Who the hell is in charge while he's locked up? Delcy Rodriguez. She seems like a lovely woman. She seems, you know what? Good on her. First female president not the first. Is she the first female president of their country? I don't even know. But you know what? Props to her. In this day and age with the patriarchy screwing everyone over, it's good to see a woman of color on top. Finally. All it took was fomenting a coup against the current president with the leader of another country. Allegedly. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened, but I don't know. Do you guys know what her position was before she was the acting president? She was the vice president of Venezuela. She held positions of power under Hugo Chavez, the man who introduced the socialist revolution to the country of Venezuela. Partially how we got here in the country. Interesting that she's the one in charge after all of this. And she held second position to Maduro as VP. She was the Minister of Popular Power for Communication and Information of Venezuela from 2013 to 2014. That's a fancy government-sanctioned name that basically just says she was there to feed the people the bullshit. She was there to give them the shit that they needed to hear, so that way they could stay shut the fuck up. Minister of Foreign Affairs from 2014 to 2017. Interesting. There's no way in that time when she was Minister of Foreign Affairs that she could have built relationships with foreign leaders and tried to establish herself as more than as a person of power in Venezuela alone. Nah. No. President of the Constituent Assembly of Venezuela from 2017 to 2018. I don't even know what that is. And she's the head of the Bolivarian National Intelligence Service, SIBIN. Basically, that's their secret service, and they report to the VP. And so it's just interesting that she's in charge of the country now. The woman that was in charge of the Secret Service was the Minister of Foreign Affairs and also the Minister of Petroleum from 2024 to 2025. She seems like a well-rounded woman. She seems like a very well-rounded woman that is going to be... There's no way that she could have formed a coup against the current president, Nicolas Maduro. There's no way. Because you know what? I have never known a secret service to ever overthrow a current president. I have never, ever looked at secret services like the CIA or MI6 or SIBIN and thought to myself, they're out to get the people. They're out to get the president. They're always upstanding people. Like, they're the wonderful people that brought you MK Ultra and MK Often, the Tuskegee experiment, the CIA in them. I don't know what SIBIN brought you. Probably cocaine. Probably cocaine through Maduro's apparent misuses of power and trafficking major drugs into this country. I don't know. I've never known Secret Service people to ever how do I say this? Screw anyone over so that way they could put into power someone that they believe will benefit them more. Never has that occurred. That's especially people in socialist countries. Why would they even want to do that? Isn't everything just so like even and fair for everybody? Wasn't that the whole point of why you did all of what you did? Why would people who are treated equally entirely across the board seek positions of power higher than the ones that they have? Nah, I think that's just us. You know what, Donnie? Free my nigga Maduro. Maduro, you ever escape? I want you on the podcast. I want to hear your side of these things. Not escape. Don't try to escape. Don't try to escape. Just don't. They'll build you Shark Alcatraz. It's just going to be like 8,000 great white sharks surrounding you and Diddy and fucking like, I don't even know. And 6ix9ine. God damn it, man. Free Maduro. Free Maduro. Long live the reign of Delcy Rodriguez. Don't have me assassinated. That's probably who cut out our fucking audio and video a little bit ago. It was probably her. Her and the CIA. They didn't like the fact that I started talking about Maduro. They hate us because they ain't us. Because they ain't fly enough to pull this shit off. You know what? Whatever. I'm done with this. Let's get to some more fun topics. Have you guys seen The Housemaid? That shit was fucking fun. I gotta say, I was actually very thoroughly impressed. This is not even me being sarcastic right now. I was actually kind of impressed with the way the film went. I think that it was basically like Gone Girl mixed with Saw, but isn't that what we want in a film? We want to take like two good films and then just like mash them into like one big thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. It was great. I liked the acting of what's her name? Amanda Seyfried, the girl from Mamma Mia and Mean Girls and Jennifer's Body. Excuse me. She did good. She did good. Spoilers for anyone who is planning on watching the film. We're about to get into this for real. So basically the plot of the film is Sydney Sweeney is a busty, beautiful young broad coming to work in the hills. But the thing is, she's got a secret dark past. Her past is just, it's so mysterious the entire time. And, well, lo and behold, guess what? The wife has a secret past too, and so does the husband, and so does everybody in this film, because everybody's psychotic in this movie. So Sydney goes to work for Amanda Seyfried and Brendan Sklenor's characters, and after a little bit, she starts noticing that not even after a little bit, within the first 24 hours, the wife just starts accusing her of taking her food, and she starts smashing shit, and the husband is like fucking 80s porn with it. Like, I'm so sorry, my wife is just so, she can be a little bit crazy sometimes. She can be a little bit much. Fucking standing there shirtless while Sydney Sweeney has her tits halfway out. It's disgusting. It was disgusting. That's disgusting. No one ever wants to see stuff like that in America. We're classier people than to think that that is what people want. Whatever, I digress. And then it goes along and the wife starts treating Sydney Sweeney's character so much worse and worse and worse. And then at the end, she accuses her character of stealing the car, calls the police, has her arrested. The husband has to bail her out. And then he kicks the wife out. And what do you do when you kick the wife out? You bang the housemaid. You bang the shit out of the housemaid. Of course, he was banging the housemaid before he kicked his wife out of the house, but whatever. I mean, sometimes you bang the housemaid. Sometimes you bang the housemaid before you kick your wife out. You guys haven't had money like that. Come on. Come on. Watch the film. You'll get what I mean. They have family heirlooms in that film. Like a dish set that was just so immaculate. It was just so fantastic. Just great. Beautiful. Wonderful dish set. Wonderful, wonderful dish set. Either way, it turns out, apparently, the wife was not the crazy one. It was the husband the whole fucking time. He was a controlling sociopathic narcissist that went out of his way to torture his wives into actually, how do I say this? Just going bonkers, batshit insane. And needless to say, some crazy shit happened. Sydney has to cut like 20 fucking slices, or 20 slices into her stomach, one for each piece of a dish that she broke. It was a beautiful set. Don't judge that man. It was a beautiful set of dishes. I'd do the same to my woman if she broke my dish set. God damn it. Has the dinosaur things on it and everything. Little dividers on it. See what happens if she breaks that shit. Just you wait, babe. You see what happens. So the point is, he forces her to cut the lines into her, and she starts going and doing the behavioral things and blah, blah, blah. Then she locks him in the room. And after she locks him in the room, she makes him yoink some teeth out, and then he breaks. Oh, no. He doesn't break out. The wife comes back after gone girling the new girlfriend, and she releases the psychopathic cocksucker, and then, well, needless to say, they pushed him over the balcony. What a waste of teeth. What a waste of china. But you know what the great part of the film is? There's a sex scene. And the best part about that scene, gentlemen, for all of you at home, don't tell your girlfriend I told you this, but you get to see Sydney Sweeney's titties. It's not like full, just like, bing! Not like Selma Hayek and fucking From Dusk Till Dawn. It's more like, what do you call it? Tasteful nudity. Tasteful. Either way, it was a good film. The action was good. The suspense was there. The story twist up was fun. I was actually overall impressed. Not a bad film. Not a bad film. Good for men and women. Another film, though, I saw recently that was crazy, and by the time that this airs, this film will be in theaters, so spoilers, motherfuckers. Don't ruin it for yourself if you plan on watching the movie, because this was a hell of a way to start off 2026. I do gotta say. The new one that came out was Primate. It's basically about this, this young college girl going back to visit her deaf father with her friend and love interest, and this bitch who's interested in the love interest. Stupid bitch. But while they're there visiting the deaf father, guess what? The deaf father happens to own a fucking chimp. It's a great start to the story. And one thing leads to another, and then the chimp gets rabies, and then it's basically, the whole plot is escape from Monkey Island. Because this ape with fucking rabies goes beyond nuts. Like, excuse me, it just rips the face off a motherfucker, bites into the leg of somebody, bashes the head in with a shovel and another thing. It like lures them out with a trap. Like, it is absolutely insane. There's even one point where you see the motherfucker. Okay. This shit was crazy. Y'all ever watched the King Kong from I think 2008 with Jack Black and Adrian Brody and shit? You remember the scene when Kong just fucking cracks open the skull of the T-Rex and you just see the jaw go limp, and he plays with that shit? In this film, you see that shit just come off. This motherfucker, he was holding this young college boy down. So sad. This man paid for a college experience in Hawaii, and he gets molested by a monkey. More than molested. Murder-lested by a monkey. That monkey fucking puts 2 fingers in his jaw yeah, and fucking rips it off. The worst part is he eats the skin off that shit. Technical difficulties. Sorry about that. Ignore the light going out. What was I saying? The point is, god damn, that movie was graphic. The acting was good. The script was good. I gotta say, that was a hell of a way to start off 2026, and all of this has been a hell of a way to start off 2020. A hell of a way to start off 2026. We've got guys trafficking meth. We've got guys with videos of fucking dogs. Guys who are trying to pay teenagers to jork it in front of them. Got movies about monkeys going and killing people. It was kind of like the beginning of 28 Days Later, except it's just a monkey. One monkey. And the people in the lab. But the people in the lab are college girls. It was a great film. I definitely recommend. Definitely recommend either of those films. I do not recommend trafficking meth. I do not recommend going out of your way to, how do I say this? Run from the cops on a scooter. Not ideal. Not ideal. I told you guys, this area was great. It was fun. Whatever. Now we've come to the conclusion of episode number 2 of StormWatch, and I just wanted to say thank you all for joining me. I told you something big was coming 2026. This isn't it yet, but man, this is a great start, so expect some shit to happen this year, because, ooh, baby, it's just going to get more and more fun. I'll see y'all next Saturday, and remember, smile while you can. Bye.